Oh. Hey guys. J-Base Phoenix here. We're back. You want to know the reason I didn't stream yesterday? It's because I slept through the hour, okay? I woke up at 9 p.m. yesterday. I woke up at the time I was supposed to stop the stream, okay? Actually, I woke up a little before that. But still. Once I saw when I woke up it was already 8. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. But I set an alarm today and I woke up a minute before the alarm. I don't know why that happens, but I did. And I was like, I'm not going to miss today because I've been doing too much damn work off stream to not show it off. So we're going to be getting into that. We're going to be getting into, we got some more topics today. See in the title, we got Black Mirror and ATLA, if you, in case you don't know, and are uncultured or just older. ATLA is Avatar: The Last Airbender. I just finished rewatching, I've seen the whole show, but I just finished rewatching season 2 on Netflix. And I'm only watching it season by season every couple of weeks because of the podcast. I have a friend, well, my co-host, who is also my friend on the podcast, has never seen it. And we're doing it season by season per podcast episode. So we just finished season 2. We're going to be recording that tomorrow. I can't wait for him to see season 3 because that, for me, is like the best season. But let's do our plugs and get on with the show. First book, Seventh Awakening, that's available. Paperback. The edge has a weird smell to it. Maybe that's just this book. Well, the paperback is $20. Kindle Unlimited is free $99. Nice $99. Kindle Digital $10. Make sure you give a rating and review. What the hell is this? Make sure you give it a get off my. Oh no. Give it a rating and review. And I shot you out like these little people down here. Want to read the first 5 chapters free? That's available on Wattpad.com and Scribblehub.com. You guys have no idea how hot it is up here. I really only come up here to stream. I do my writing either in the living room or my own room. It is. The thermostat downstairs said 86 before I turned the AC on in the living room. It went down since then, but I think the temperature is based on upstairs because there's no way it was 86 downstairs. But it is. That's why I got the water on me. I had the pink lemonade just before the stream to wake up. Like coffee, but lemonade and pink. If you were to support, subscribe, consider subscribing on Twitch, and if you're watching on YouTube, you better subscribe, because it's free. I can't force you to do that though, because I don't even know where you are in the world. But even if I knew where you were, it's not like I travel to force you to subscribe. I can't force anybody. Unless somebody already has their hand over the mouse and the mouse is over the button and then I push their finger to click the button. Can't really force anybody to subscribe. Wish I could, but I can't. I wish I could. I don't really care. We have Patreon too. Consider subbing to that as well. You get the benefits and stuff. The Discord has been pretty inactive right now, but we're getting back into the swing of things. And what else? Is that all my plugs? Oh, and the donate button I'm gonna put the Cash App username and thing as well in case maybe Cash App is easier for you. So both of those are in the chat right now, and let's get started. Let me catch you guys up because I did some writing at like 7 a.m. this morning, which is why I just woke up at 7:40. 7:40 p.m. Alright, let's start with the reorganization of the teams. So there's going to be 24 students of the main cast overall, and each of them are in a team of 4. Let me see. Where do I have it that's best spread out? I think it's, no, superpowers. Okay. So here you can see, well, you were late. You can see we kept the normal cast. I changed Pharaoh's name because Zero and Pharaoh, that would confuse people. I changed Pharaoh's name to Ferris, which is a thing for -9. Yeah, -99. I changed Pharaoh's name to Ferris because ferrous metals, I just got rid of the extra R and the O and just made it Ferus. But now his name is Ferris. I was going to make it Pharos because if it was Pharos, that means each of those letters would be from an element that's a ferrous metal, which I thought would have been cool, but Pharos also sounds too similar to Zero and Pharos, as opposed to Zero and Ferris. So Ferris it is. If the U wasn't there, it'd be all ferrous metals. Like the letters, like they were made up from the periodic table. So all the ferrous metals on the periodic table, they're what's the, like, PT and AU? I forgot what exactly the name of those were right now. I'm blanking. But like Fe is iron, so that would have been iron, and then a few of them, like chromium, has R in it, and then one of them has O, only one of them, forget which one, and then a few of them have S as well. But Zashi and Grace, they're still up there. Living armor, I mentioned her living armor ability last time. Word Ferris, did I spell it right? Yeah, that's not how you actually spell the word ferrous, as in ferrous metal, but because that was like the best name I could give him for that, I thought, like ferrous is spelled this way, like as in ferrous metal, it's spelled this way, but like I said, I got rid of the R and the O, the extra R and O. So Kayahi, you've already seen him, you've seen Axis. They're still going to stay on the same team. Fatica, she was on this team already, but I moved Clad up here. I think Aura was up here before. Clad is part of this team of 4. They can kind of, like, as far as versatility, I think they could kind of rival the main squad's thing. Just a little bit. 3 of them are kinetics, which, you know, isn't very diverse. I think so far the most common class is the kinetics, because I have an entire list of kinetic abilities. And then we have Aura down here, but each team was made so they're complementing one another's abilities, kind of like from the Specialist series, the way I did that, but now there's an added team member. So Aura, she has Crystallokinesis. I already had a picture of her, but I didn't erase it or anything. Yeah, I had a picture of her. It's not outlined or anything. I haven't outlined or colored in a while, but she's kind of the leader of this team, and I think it's kind of cool because the rest of these guys, the rest of the people on her team are going to be dudes. Debris, he's the kinetic. Geokinesis, which is just terrakinesis, which is the same thing Seismic does, so it's controlling Earth. Uh, Originally Gravel had Sunokinesis, which is controlling sand, like normal sand. But because of who's next, I changed Gravel, and they're gonna have a name change. Their thing to glass manipulation. So that means I'm gonna have to implement glass some more in this story. I was just gonna keep that kind of away from here, but like they're gonna need windows and such, I guess, to make him more useful. And then the reason I changed Gravel from Sunokinesis to Hyalokinesis was because Arcos / Solace. I think I'm gonna keep the name Arcos. Use Solace for something else. Is because he has black Sunokinesis. It's Melanos Sunokinesis. So black sand manipulation. What is black sand? Well, it's fine sand, pretty much the same as like normal sand, but it has properties of glass and metal within it. So it has magnetic properties as well. Pharaoh would be a good addition or fit on this team, but because I gave Gravel glass manipulation, he's also like good with this team as well. I want Pharaoh to stay on his rival, the main character's team. So yeah, black sand. Then we have the fire team. We have Kindle, who's a kinetic. She just has normal pyrokinesis. We have Rupture. I'm going to change his name. He has geothermokinesis, which is lava or magma. Phoenix has tephrokinesis, which is ash. So in order to, let's say Kindle creates a fire and burns something, Phoenix will be able to manipulate the ashes from what that object or person was. Or it can also create the ashes. But like I said before, all kinetics, when they create or generate as opposed to manipulate, it takes more virtue out of them, because it's creating and then also manipulating that thing they just created from their virtue. So it's like 2 steps as opposed to just manipulating what's already there. And then Crosswind had aerokinesis, and he had the same ability as Roka, who is part of the villain squad. She has aerokinesis with her light shield hat. Aerokinesis is air manipulation. But I changed his to typhokinesis, which is smoke. So Kindle is really just the best leader for this team, because there's fire, technically, I think, in lava / magma. And then both from her burning something, both of her teammates become more useful because of the ash aftermath and the smoke during. So, yeah, this team is really, really synced up. You have Limno, who's the leader of the water squad. All of these 3 are female, so it's kind of the opposite of Aura's situation. Limno's male and the rest are female. Limno has water manipulation, which is hydrokinesis. This was copied from the specialist superpower thing. This needs to be changed. But hydrokinesis, Krya, she has crystallized skin, which is kind of just like diamond or just ice skin. Polara, she has a paralysis stare, freezing her opponents in place, so that whole water ice thing. And then Frigid, she has Frigo, I think it's Frigo kinesis, or Frigo kinesis. GIF or GIF, which is snow manipulation. And then we have the last team, which are kind of like the wild cards, like the first 2 teams. Like, they don't really have much in common, but they kind of had to be put together. We have the portal creator, who just creates portals and is more of an assist teammate rather than anything else. And then we finally named 2 of the other ones that were just named after Image Generator and Virtue Eraser. Before, Lelura, her thing is after image generation, and if you'll look here. Here. I'll scroll up on this. You guys can see that. The Laura means mirage in Basque, which Basque is like its own region within Spain, northern Spain. But that's where her name comes from. And then Nix, which means nothing. I just spelled it with a Y instead of an I because so he has virtue erase. Wish I could freeze my opponents in place. Do you have opponents I need to know about, Mom? Do I need to go off the grid for a while to teach some people a lesson? Do I need to teach some people a lesson? My hair looks... Yo, what up, Chase? Welcome to the stream, my guy. I haven't gotten into topics just yet, but welcome. Welcome. I'm just explaining what I was doing. Okay, you need me to go off the grid. Alright, so we might have to take another hiatus. I know I just did another hiatus, but Mom says she has opponents and enemies, so it's all good. Okay, because whoever they was, Nyx, he's thief class. He has virtue erase, so he's not taking the virtue like the main villain can take people's powers. Nyx, he just erases people's virtues. So if they're like, hey, I'm gonna conjure some fire, for example, I'm on fire now. Oh yeah, call me fireman. And then he just like sneaks up to him and like hits him in the back a couple of times, and then the fire shrinks because he's taking away their virtue. So he's just like, bah, 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 bah. And then all their virtue's gone. That's all you gotta do. You don't even have to touch me. Just I'm kidding. Of course he has to touch them. But that's his power. And then the self-mutator, his name is Dragon. I had that name Dragon for the Specialist series. He was supposed to be like the underdog because he didn't really have any useful abilities, so I kind of used that here. He has base virtue abilities boost. And I explained Dragon before. But I didn't explain his backstory. I just gave him a little snippet. Or a little snippet down. So he was unmotivated at first. I was going to make him like the never give up kind of person that would never stop training even for a second of their life. They were training in their sleep. They were training when they went to the bathroom, training while they ate, all this type of stuff. It just never stopped training. And even though he didn't have the greatest abilities, he becomes strong. But I kind of flipped that on his head. He was unmotivated at first, but after learning, you don't see it that now you should. But after learning the potential of his abilities, he trains, so he becomes stronger through that. So yeah. Then we have some more world building stuff. I don't think I had much left on the characters. Yo, what up, Asad? Welcome to the stream. Both Chase and Asad are here. Did y'all watch Black Mirror or Avatar? I also started watching Hannibal with my family. We saw the pilot. That Hannibal's on Netflix. Really weird, and we keep cracking jokes about the food. Like you have how people have people eat chicken fingers. Hannibal would eat human fingers. Chicken fried liver. some fresh sautéed lungs, because he's a cannibal. All right. So we got another train idea. Right here, we got a jungle train because it's not really one of the main environments within the series, and we'll get to the environments in a second. I never showed off the creatures. We got scorpions. I don't like bugs, but I was like, we're gonna need bugs because bugs. There's scorpions that look and colonize like ants, all black. Now, I'm debating whether I want to make them very comically large, like most bug enemies in the beginning of name a video game, any video game, or if I want to make them small like ants, like tinier than scorpions, ants. They can kind of just run up on you. I don't know yet. Oh, there's some story stuff we'll get to in a second that I added. That'll be the last thing we get to, but we got some more world. Actually, we need to do that now before we get into the world expansion. Lung sausage. Yeah. Oh yeah. I love me some lung sausage and eggs for breakfast. That's not good timing. I had eggs, sausage, and waffles for dinner last night, and I'm so glad I didn't think of that scene while I was eating. And the dude he gave it to, he was horking that food down. He was going in. He was like, "Oh my God, what is this organic?" Like he was really enjoying that. He didn't know what it was though. Bless his heart, soul, and mind and body. So what are the students training to do? I felt like this question was important to answer because without direction, it'd be difficult to come up with a story. Kind of like how Descended is. Like, nobody really has goals. They're kind of just there to not service the plot, but they're kind of just there to protect people, and threats keep coming. Kind of like how Dragon Ball Z did their thing, where it's just like, oh, guys, we gotta train, because there's a new villain on the way. I gotta work on my Goku. But, kind of like that. But with this, I was like, okay, keep the peace, that could be an option, but that's the most boring option. They would essentially just be superheroes. And I am trying to stay away from Descended for this series. So I'm trying to keep it as different from that series as possible, even though it's going to end up having similarities anyway, because that's kind of just how my mind works. Also, supernatural things, it's gonna end up being similar. He was loving it. Yeah, he was picking. He was going in. I'm surprised he wasn't asking for hot sauce or something like, oh, this could really use some salt, but other than that, this is fire, bro. You got a recipe? And Hannibal Lecter should just be like, yeah, kill somebody, eat their lungs. That's what you eat. But knowing Hannibal, he'd be too smart to say that. He'd Hannibal the cannibal. Alright. So what else could be happening in this world? What are the students training to be? What are they training to do? Because they have to be doing something other than just, oh, you're in this school to be learning how to control your virtue abilities. There's got to be like a goal at the end of this besides that arbitrary goal. So one of the options I gave myself: remove those from the world deemed too dangerous to live, like assassins. Assassin could be an occupation. Maybe the students have several different occupations they could choose from where their virtue talents would be welcomed. What are some other occupations? We have assassin, soldier, guard, spy. But I gave those options after I wrote C, which is these soldiers in a war, who would be at war, the clans, the lands, the regions, whatever. What would cause the war, which is the most important question. And then I answered maybe one region was deemed to be growing too large in strength, not the main town region that the main cast is from. I haven't named any of the places yet, but I sure enough need to, because this will get confusing real fast. And a few smaller regions told it to slow down, like, hey bro, your region looking kind of crisp and large over there. Your region is growing too powerful. It's better. Your region's growing too powerful, bro. Y'all need to slow that down, bro. Like, we don't like that. We kind of we all supposed to be growing together, and y'all are like growing on your own. So we don't really like that. And the large region was like, nah, bro, you good. We doing our own thing. Y'all just jealous. Like, hop off. So it didn't listen, of course. So it was conquered. But who would get to rule that large region would also have to be determined by war. Because then once that large region is conquered, the other regions are looking at each other like... So, we never really discussed how this was gonna go down. Then one of the regions stabbed the other in the spine. I was gonna say the back. I don't know why I said spine. I know why. But, you know, and then they went at war for this one large region. And they're still fighting over it. So there's an ongoing war right now. And that's why I came up with these occupations, because all of these would be necessary. So what would the assassin do? They'd be taking out high value targets on the enemy team, whoever the enemy teams are. I have not split the teams into anything just yet. Maybe each region is in it for itself. We don't know yet. Well, I don't know yet. So you don't know yet. So we don't know yet. Soldier, which would kind of just be a dude on the front line, using their virtue abilities. We have a guard, so people who would kind of be the superheroes. They'd be protecting their assigned region or town or village or whatever. And then we have the spies, people who would act like they're part of a town or from a different region, but they're really working for a different region. That type of thing. So there's all sorts of stuff that could be going on. But I'm liking this idea because it's way more different than any of the other series I have going on right now. Plus, having the students become kind of weapons goes along the lines of what the Specialist series was about. Disturbed Delinquents, it was kind of just about taking down the big bad guys that controlled the city, which was kind of still along the lines of Descended because they were just defeating villains. But if there's like war and plotting and betrayal and stuff like that, I don't think any of my series come even close to that just yet. So I think this would be a good series to explore it in, especially with the superpowers and all that. There's not going to be any guns or anything like that. There can be ranged weapons like bow and arrow or crossbow, but other than that, there's not going to be much advanced technology. The only other sort of advanced technology are the wind turbines and the TCTs, those train-seated trains. So I'm going with B and C. I'm going to leave A out of it because they're just superheroes. It's just A. So let's scroll up to the actual regions. So I was developing the clans. I don't think I added anything in the characters up top. I just reorganized them for the way their teams are. So the clans, we're going to have a fire clan, we're going to have an ice clan. They're located, fire clan is located in, wait, where are the regions? Are they under the clans? Okay, they're under the key locations, okay. So the fire clan located in the volcano / island region in the fire town. This is why I gotta name this stuff. Speaking of name, let's name that. They're actually the heads of the town, and everything for the town goes through this powerful family. Then we have the Ice Clan, located in the snowy/mountain region in the Ice Town. They do not rule and control their town, but they are aware of everything that goes on within. So kind of opposites with their approach to the towns they are a part of and kind of the element they represent. We have some key locations. Sears apartment, that's going to be its own thing. Villain group hideout. Still have not named the villain group. I started coming up with some names. There was a random name generator I looked at online, and I started to get lost in it, but then I realized I backed out of it. I had to force close out of that because I realized, like, I would get no satisfaction from coming up with the names for anything myself. Plus, I don't know if I can get in trouble for taking names randomly generated from that site. But yeah, I started to get lost, and I was like, oh my god, I could. It wouldn't take long at all in order to name all these places, and I can even get character names from this. And then after a minute, I was like, wait, where are these? I don't know where these names are coming from. So I don't know if this is the best idea. Like, these names could be already names of established companies and all that type of stuff. And I normally look up my names or take time to create my names. So I'm like, this is way too easy. And, you know, I'd rather it be from my own mind rather than a website, you know. So, we did take a few villain group names down. I don't think I took any from the site, but I used the site as a bit of a reference. So we have Deadly Assembly. Probably not going with that one. That could be a good comedic villain group name. The Deadly Assembly. Coming to you in a theater near you. We have Mirage, but we already have somebody that's named Mirage, just in a different language. We have Karma. That'd be an interesting name. Gods of Death. Remember, they were originally supposed to be named after gods of death, like Odin and Thanatos, but that was less creative. We have Blight, which I think is a really good name, or Oversight. Oversight is essentially what they represent. Blight, that's just a really cool name. I know there's a Batman Beyond villain by the name of Blight, but since it's a group, I believe there's a difference. It's like, oh no, the Blights are here. Now that I say it out loud, that sounds kind of stupid. Oh no, the Oversights are here. Sounds a little better, I think. The Overseers. It might be better. I don't know. So we got the underground fighting ring located in the main town. This is where choosers can test their merit against one another. It's exactly as it sounds. There's the only rule: no weapons, blacksmith crafted or otherwise, just virtue abilities. And this is where the boy in Corpo makes his first appearance. In Corpo, the MVP. Wind turbines located all around. They provide power to the city trains along with the sun. So they're kind of solar powered, but also virtue powered. To be exact, they spread some virtue from space whales and send them to the TCTs while the TCTs travel. So the space whales, while they're just doing their space whale thing, they're kind of getting virtue siphoned from them just a little bit, because they're the biggest storages. They have the biggest virtue capacities on the planet, or being a part of the world, the planet. So it's not like they even notice how much virtue is being taken from them. It's like if an ant were to crawl on you, like the tiniest ant on the planet were to crawl on you, you wouldn't really notice. Kind of like that minuscule amount used for the TCTs. Monoliths, I'm gonna do something with those. Probably something with religion. I'm not sure yet. I think monoliths represent religion. I gotta look more into those. Dead Man's Land, technically located in the region. I haven't given it an exact location yet. It's an area where part of the continuing war took place. This area is devoid of all life and the only consistent color across all this flat land is dark gray. It's also hazy and hard to see, as if the land burned. This land is pretty similar to the Somber Sea, which is part of the Descended series. It's on an alien planet called Nebulon, where a battle took place and the area is all devoid of life. But it also has a sea, and the sea is completely black. And if you were to touch it, you'd get sucked into it and dragged to the bottom of the ocean by nothing in particular. It's pretty spooky, and I wanted it to come across that way. So, oh, what up, Rock? What do you do for money? Since I remember you quit your job, I think, if you don't mind me asking. I don't. This is what I do for money. I cooked last night. I cooked, and I am not used to doing that. And it was, I don't, there are a couple of reasons I don't cook, which I'll get into in a second, but I don't like it. Does all your money just come from your book and Twitch? Currently, yeah, and I don't have that much of it because not the largest amount of people are watching, but whoever supports, I always, like other Twitch users and other YouTubers and all that, they're like, oh man, I wouldn't be here without you guys. I'm so appreciative of you guys. And it's like, are you? Because you're the same person who won't respond to comments or even engage with your audience. So I don't believe what you're saying. So yeah, I got a couple bones from my book earlier. I think it's supposed to be bi-weekly, but I haven't gotten it in a minute. I know I didn't get everything from the book, but the book is still out. Yeah, so it's essentially just my book and Twitch. It's kind of what I'm doing, and I'm trying to get more consistent with it since, you know, I have all the time in the effing world right now. But you know, there's some personal stuff that goes on, and I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna stream today, that type of thing. But cooking, I'm frustrated because I need a job or a way to make money. Yeah, don't stress about it, I'd say. Take your time. Meditation helps. You know, when you're quiet and you just wait for answers to come to you, kind of sometimes I'll get ideas, or just what the next thing I need to do is, because right now I have really no sort of direction as to where the hell my life is going right now. I could have stayed at where my previous job was. I didn't. Could have stayed where the previous job before that one was, and I didn't. But I think it's all just leading to something big. Leading to something big. Absolutely hate cooking, but my mom is getting on me for spending money. Yeah, I get that. I normally just don't tell anybody when I order food. Like, I was ordering, you guys would see on stream, I'd be like, okay, I gotta order Wendy's now. Like, I'd order food nonstop, but let me explain the reasons. First of all, food that you don't cook is delicious. Food that I don't cook is delicious. Meaning, food from anywhere besides something, like anywhere besides my hands and kitchen, is better than what I make. I am not the greatest chef. I am not the greatest cook. Every time, here's another example. Every time I make eggs, something as simple as eggs, I have to, like, oh Jesus. Oh, appreciate this. Cheers, Mr. Sean. Appreciate it. I still don't know what bits do. I think once I reach like 100 accumulated revenue or something like that, I can start putting money in my account, I think, from Twitch. But I think that's what bits do. I'm not entirely sure. I live with my mom a little. Yeah, that sucks. Well, not living with your mom sucks, but like her getting on you about spending money, it kind of sucks. Yeah, I don't really know what. What can I offer as advice? I'd say maybe spend a little less. I'd say. Yeah, no, that's not what I meant. Spend a little less, you know, cutting down just a little bit. I might be able to do something. Then you could show your mom and be like, hey, Mom, I cut down just a little bit. That's something more than what I was doing already with spending the money. And you could save a little bit. I don't know if you say you don't work, but, or you don't have a job currently. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say you could show her your efforts in trying to find a job, or grind as far as like Twitch or whatever you're trying to do goes. Like if you were a writer and you didn't have a job, you just show everybody else or your mom specifically the grind you're going through in order to put out whatever you want to put out that'll rake in that revenue. But cooking. Yeah, whenever I make eggs, I am eyeballing every amount. I only put 4 seasonings in my eggs: pepper, salt. I don't like. I'm gonna reverse it. Salt, pepper, because that's the way most people say it. Salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. And they taste different every damn time I make them. And I'm nervous as to whether I put too much onion powder or too much garlic powder, and they'll taste just like garlic or onion instead of eggs. And I hate it. I don't like cooking. Plus, and this is the biggest reason, probably, whenever I cook, whatever I cook, it never ever fills me for over like an hour. I could be fat in the moment I finished eating it, but that food will not sit in my stomach for over an hour, and within that hour, I'm hungry again. And that's how I just keep spending, that's how my kitchen becomes less stocked faster, because I'm snacking and doing whatever to get my stomach back to satisfied, because whatever I'm making does not matter what I've made, because first of all, it's going to be gross. Second, it does not fill me for a long time. It's like eating a damn apple. You ever eat an apple when you're hungry, and then you're hungry within 30 minutes? That's what cooking is for me. I hate it. But whenever I order food, that food lasts me until the next morning. I don't like cooking. I'm fine with cooking with other people. Like, that's kind of like an experience. It's kind of like a hangout. You're doing something together. Learn recipes like, oh, dude, you use too much soy sauce in the cookie dough. That's fine. But since I live alone currently, and, well, that's part of the major thing. Since I live alone currently, it's I hate it. I have not heard like a home cooked meal that wasn't from myself. No, I'm lying. I think my dad made something recently. It's expensive to order out every day. I'm very aware of that, but I'd rather order out than make my own food, because I know at least the food I order out from is going to satisfy me and is going to taste good. Both things are going to be unhealthy for me, because I have no idea how to make vegetables. And I'm not going to spend my time, I'm not going to spend half my damn day looking up recipes and watching YouTube tutorials on something that's going to take 5 minutes to eat and then last less than 5 minutes in my stomach. I don't like cooking. Your advice? I made a resume today. That's what's up. But there's like no jobs right now. Yep, I could understand that. I don't have any skills that would make me money. I'd say retail might be your best bet. Retail. That's where I started. Like, retail is always looking to hire people. Yes, almost all retail jobs suck. Like, are the worst. Both of my jobs before were both in retail. I was a cashier at a dollar store. It was more like a grocery store that had more than just groceries. And then I was a bank teller, which is still technically retail because you're dealing with customers in front of you and over the phone. I don't like talking over the phone, so that was like the worst part of the job. Whenever that phone would ring, I would stare at it for a good 5 seconds before they'd start yelling at me to pick it up. But retail is trash. I don't like dealing with people that way. Like, when I'm pretty much kind of like the face of the company and they're peeved off, they'll be the ones to take their anger out on me, and I'm like, most people don't understand. I didn't do that. I didn't do whatever you're mad at. Like, you're mad the system's down. I'm sorry, ma'am, Miss Karen. I can't help you. I cannot help you. I'm not the tech part of this company. I just take people's money or give them their money back. What do you want from me? You want me to walk down to headquarters and talk to the IT people and be hands-on? Is that what you want? Is that excellent customer service in your eyes, Karen? Sorry. But also, both of those jobs impressed me. I hated both of them, and well, I'm not gonna get past that, but those jobs were pretty grating. From the outside looking in, it's like, oh man, you were making money. Oh, you were comfortable. No, I wasn't comfortable, first of all. And it's like, no. Like, every moment, every second of every day I was in both of those places, I was like, I could be writing, I could be at home promoting my book, I could be doing so many other things than this. And I hated it. That's your fast metabolism. Well, damn my fast metabolism. No, don't damn my fast metabolism. I enjoy my fast metabolism, but yeah, it's probably the reason. That's really probably the reason. Redeem shout out. Who redeemed? I just see redeem shout out. Okay, Rock. Me, I stream just chatting. Okay, shouts out to Rock. You can click on Rock's Twitch name if you want to give them a follow. Yeah, they're kind of trying to build their brand up just like me. So go ahead and give Rock a follow. Just the follow will help. Cause you're at like 33. You 33, 34. Rock. Followers, just the followers. They only need 15 followers in order to reach the 50 follower goal to become affiliated, and then you need to keep streaming. But yeah, there's my metabolism that fast. Yeah, I have like a super metabolism. It's pretty stupid. Like, it's hard for me to like gain weight from like working out and stuff like that because my metabolism is that fast. Like, I'll do like 50 push-ups. I'm over exaggerating. I'll do like 50 push-ups, and then my body's like, okay. I look in the mirror. I'm like, okay, I'm looking kind of swole. Okay, we looking good. I wake up the next morning and my face looks like a damn skeleton. Like, it's kind of like that. Soy sauce cookies. You ain't never had soy. Well, you've probably had Brussels sprout cookies or cauliflower cookies or some trash like that. This is Sean. I miss going to my grandparents' house. They would make meals often. Yeah, right now I'm kind of missing home cooked meals right now. I'd rather a home cooked meal than a me cooked meal, to be honest, because their food, whatever it is, even if I end up not liking it, it's probably going to be. And I'm a very picky eater. That's another issue. Very, like, you've never met anybody as picky as I am. Like, it could be a food I like, but because it wasn't seasoned right, I just won't eat it. And I've had days where I will not, had not, I've had days where I hadn't eaten because I didn't like whatever was cooked. Like, you have not met somebody like me as far as pickiness goes. I promise you. Yeah, home cooked meals is, I would rather that than, like I said, a meat cooked meal. I told my mom. Plus, another thing, I don't like leftovers. I don't like heating. This is also why I'm built the way I am. I don't like heating up. Depending on the food, the best leftover food for me, and because it tastes better when it's left over for some reason when you heat it up in the microwave, Chinese food. Other than that, I'm probably not gonna heat it up later. Chinese food, and like there's a meal like the appetizer meal I order from Chili's, triple dipper. Like what I get from that, I get like boneless wings, southwestern egg roll, and like fried pickles or like the crispy cheddar bites or whatever. And I'm fine with heating that up in the toaster oven because normally, whenever I eat Chili's, I eat it like I'll start at like 9. I'll eat that and I'll be full, and then it's like 4 a.m. and I'm like, man, I could really go for something savory and hot. And I'm like, oh wait, I have Chili's in the fridge. I'll heat that up. That's fine. But other than that, pizza, anything else you'd assume would be normal. Thanksgiving leftovers is the worst. Anything like that, I don't eat leftovers. So like I said, I promise you I am the pickiest eater. You have never seen somebody more picky. When I was a baby, I was fed nothing but rice and corn because I hated everything else. That's how picky I am. I don't like being picky. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. Because if I eat something I don't like, then I'm going to vomit it up. And it's not on purpose. It's because my body is saying, hey, this is garbage to our taste. And then, that's the end of that food. And then they'll be like, well, you could have fed that to somebody else rather than try to feed it to me, because if you would have just given them that food rather than have me eat it and just vomit it right back up, then, that person would have food. I'm picky. Okay. Elemental mood. I gotta catch up. I know there's a lot. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure I read everybody's comments because not every Twitch user does that. I want to make everybody feel special. I told my mom I'd rather starve than cook because she told me I needed to stop ordering. I've done that. No, I haven't. Have I? I probably have once or twice. I've skipped out on this. I told you that. Physically can't do anything that requires me to stand for long periods of time. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. I just don't like cooking. Alone, that is. LOL. Chase, LOL, retail jobs are just company punching bags for both the company and the customers. For some reason, when I was younger or when I was in college, I knew I'd have a retail job at some point. Because I'd seen so many YouTubers and internet people that have had retail jobs and had stories from those retail jobs. And I was like, I feel like I'm going to have one of these one day. Like, I kind of get where they're coming from, even though I've never had that job. And then once I had the job, I was like, well, now I really get where they're coming from. This is trash. This is absolute trash. But it's a good starting point. What does redeem shout out mean? That just means they saved up their channel points. Those little bubble things at the bottom left of your chat thing. Saved up their channel points, and they use those points to get a shout out. So shout outs to Rock. I spent my channel points. Yeah. Thanks. I'm at 36. Word up. No problem, Bob. Yes, always been a picky eater since baby. No new ages for you now, buddy. They're closed, Mr. Sean. They are closed. Plus, I can't afford New Asia right. I can't afford any. I have to. You know where I am right now? because I don't want eggs, sausage, and waffles again for dinner, I have to use my points from one of the pizza chains, one of the big three pizza chains, to get like, I got a free pizza from Domino's from ordering their things before I stopped eating them. And I gotta go back to eating Domino's just to redeem that free pizza, just to feed myself. There's no ordering anything. There's no. And then probably is today Tuesday? No, today's Monday. So tomorrow I'm probably gonna have. I still have 4 cans of Campbell's noodle soup in the cabinet. So I normally make 2 of those per sitting, or per dinner time. So that's probably tomorrow's dinner. Yeah. I have like 2 bags of chips left, like they're like the small individual bags. So I have like barbecue Ruffles or something, and then Takis. I've never had Takis, but they've been sitting in the cabinet because I'm kind of like skeptical of whether it's gonna taste good or not. I've heard they're fire, and both literally and metaphorically. But yeah. I'm the most picky eater, but I'll eat leftovers. Thinking about ordering something, what should I get? Sometimes I like to eat some healthy things, like I'll get Panera Bread. It's more expensive, plus on DoorDash, it's not like, it doesn't have Dash Pass, so it's like $4.99 delivery fee, which is stupid because it used to be on the Dash Pass. I'll sometimes get something healthy. So let's everybody get something healthy, because I'm eating the junk food for everybody tonight. Everybody else needs to eat healthy tonight. Cause semi-healthy. It's better than McDonald's. Panera Bread is better. I don't know if that's the greatest argument, but Panera Bread is better than McDonald's. Or Chipotle, I assume, is also better than McDonald's. I'm assuming. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, because they've had some things happen to people. 8 p.m. now, and just thinking about dinner. I just woke up and I'm thinking about dinner, bro. It ain't nothing but a chicken wing, bro. I hate holiday leftovers. Yeah, holiday leftovers are trash. From every holiday. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, pretty much the big 3 for holiday meals. All garbage. And plus, here's another thing. When I'm eating the food while it's hot, it could have just come off the damn the pot. And I don't like it. Like, you cooking is trash, Grandpa. Your green beans ain't fire, bro. They ain't popping like you think they is. If I don't like them, like, you ain't convinced everybody. Oh, another thing. There was a thing on a show, YouTube show I love watching, called Black Blasphemy. Shouts out to AED, Patrick Cloud, and all of them. They have one of the main cast members on that show, Cleo Thomas, the kid from Holes, Zero. He's all grown up now, and he's like light skinned. Cleo Thomas, he prefers box Kraft mac and cheese over homemade mac and cheese. And you know what? I agree with him. I would rather give me my SpongeBob cheesiness over that trash, homemade, burnt, gooey, lumpy mac and cheese any day, bro. I said it. I've also never liked that kind of homemade mac and cheese, but I'd rather that Kraft. I would eat that Kraft for lunch. Eat that right up. It was all me, bro. I'd rather that over the. Especially, have you ever had hot Kraft, like straight out like you just finished making it? You scoop that joint up and you put it in a bowl. Then you eat straight out. Oh, bro. Fire. Fire. You should do videos on this topic. Like, do you mean, what topic? Like eating in general? Probably. But I also like talking about it live because, you know, there's an interaction. Rice and corn with butter. Oh yeah, there was butter on it. Yep, I remember. I remember exactly what it tastes like too. Yep. Super picky too, but I was younger, I ate everything. Yeah. I can't relate. That's the title, The Picky Eater. My first retail job was Foot Locker. I don't know why they feel the need to treat retail employees. Everybody, they're just door stops. Retail employees are just door stops for literally everybody. The company, the managers, and the customers. They get blamed for everything. It could be a spillage, and the company has a janitor, but the retail employee is the one that gets yelled at for some reason. Like, they could have already brought it to the janitor's attention, and the janitor is on his way, but the manager will come and see and be like, "Hey, you ain't seen this spill over here? You crazy? You trying to get the company sued? Bro, you're not even in corporate. Is that why you're mad? You're not even in corporate. You're a manager. You're just like I am. You just have a stupid tie on. You ain't see this spillage? Ooh, I should fire you right now, bro." Welcome to adulthood. But pizza sounded good. You need emotes. I do need emotes. I don't know any artists though. Like, I've said before, I'm in that realm of I'm in the realm of writers and artists, and I'm just in the creative realm, but I know goddamn nobody. I know nobody that I don't know any agents, I don't know any literary agents. Only thing I know is writers right now. Only people I know are writers. Everybody else, they're not. I know editors as well, because the writers are sometimes editors. Most of my friends. Nobody's an artist though. Nobody's an artist. I don't know how to make emotes. And I'd rather not, because there's always going to be something. I'm never 100% satisfied with my art, because when I look back and try to look at it from somebody else's eye, I'm like, oh, this could have been done better. Oh, this person's head is too big. Oh, this is out of place. Oh, this could have been lined up better. Like, it's never going to be perfect. Same can be said about writing. I don't think creatives are ever 100% satisfied with their work. It's kind of a curse, but a blessing at the same time, because they're always striving to do better. So, I love green bean casserole. I don't even know what you're talking about. Green bean casserole. Fairly Odd Parents kind of ruined the word casserole for me, because every time Timmy's mom brought out a casserole, that would look like the most butt ugly thing I've ever. It looked like the dirt in the show looked better than the casserole she brought out. Like, the casserole looked like it could have been undead. So whenever I heard, oh, I got a meat casserole coming piping hot out the oven, I'm like, casserole? Oh no. Like, I think there was an entire episode dedicated to something about casseroles and Fairly Odd Parents, but whenever I hear, don't ever call any food item that you give me a casserole, because then I'll immediately look at it in a different light, and that's not a good thing. ADD. Yeah, the some, not the homemade though, the fake stuff, as my mom says. Oh, you mean they have the fake green bean casserole? Where that at? Aisle 6? Oh my God, Chase, why are you grinding on grandma's greens? I say grandpa because I don't think any of my grandfathers make green beans or greens. I know my one of my grandfathers makes well, my closest grandfather makes fried chicken, but I'm also not the biggest fan of fried chicken. Oh God, I should be on Black Blasphemy, bro. Um, I don't. Uh-uh. I used to, but then once I started to eat, like I would take a bite of the skin and then look back at what I just ate, and I saw nothing but like fat and grease. I'm like, what the hell am I eating? I would rather it in a boneless form than a bone-in form. I always prefer boneless wings, and this is also probably blasphemy. I always prefer boneless wings, which is why I said the Chili's thing earlier. Boneless wings over bone-in, because the boneless wings are less inclined to have fat in them. That, and you don't even have to like look at what you're eating. You just use your knife and fork, cut it up, pop it in your mouth, and keep on moving with your life. Wingstop, all of that. Anything that has wings better have boneless, because if they only have wings, I ain't getting it. I used to have Popeyes with wings and bone in and all that, but then once I found out I could get chicken tenders, like I looked at the menu one day and I was like, wait, they have things other than like 3-piece? Oh, the 2-piece? Oh, okay. And then I started getting the 3 and then 5-piece chicken tender meals from Popeyes, and I'm like, yo, this is way better than the bone-in stuff. All blasphemy of what I'm saying, because I know most people won't agree, but I would rather that. I would rather that. You right? That's not even cheese, bro. The Kraft stuff, I know it's like cheese product or something. Maybe that's why it's better. Maybe. It's like orange. It's not even yellow. I know. I'm very aware, and I'd rather stick that in my body than that burnt trash that everybody else eats. I'd eat that Kraft for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Word, bro, with jalapenos. I've never had it with jalapenos, but that sounds pretty fire. Jalapenos does go good on, like, I'm not, like, crazy about it. Like, I know a lot of people, like, put hot sauce on certain things. Like, some people do jalapenos like that. Like, certain things with jalapenos does sound fire, though. I haven't had Kraft mac and cheese since preschool when they force-fed us that mess. Like, in school? If you had it in school, Chase, then they probably poisoned it. Because school food is poison. So, I wouldn't have trusted that. I had it often, my parents brought it for me to eat. Word. Sean Rocky or my brother, mac and cheese with jalapenos is hits hard. Okay. What about cheese? Things with jalapenos. Ginger ale with jalapenos. Now you know I love ginger ale. Why would you try and ruin ginger ale like that? What does ginger ale need anything else added to it for? Canada Dry is the best, but I'm okay with Schweppes. Schweppes, and then there's a third one I'm forgetting. There's 3 main ginger ale people. Canada Dry is the best thing. Plus, that's the stuff I would always get with my Chinese food, the Canada Dry cans. So, I drew my own profile pic. Word. Okay, I'll take a look. I made a cheesy jalapeno cornbread too. I did not. I was not. I think, did I have it? I think I had that, and I remember the taste, and I regret remembering the taste, because just leave cornbread alone. Why are y'all adding stuff to it? That's like when people add raisins and sour cream to potato salad. I don't like potato salad either, or macaronis. I'm picky. We get it. But that's like when they add sour cream, raisins, and freaking walnuts to that stuff that don't need to be touched. Oh, I just added a little bit of shaving cream to the mac and cheese recipe. Like, what are you doing? Leave it alone. It was fine. Like, there's a reason your recipe has not been continued. I'm sure somebody has tried your recipe at some point and was like, you know what, this wasn't the greatest idea. Just cornbread is fine. That's like one of my favorite foods, cornbread, bro. Like, let cornbread live. Let it live. Why are you adding cheese and question marks and fingernail clippings to cornbread? Like, it's not the best, but it's something. Word. Yeah, hit me up for. I want to see. I want to make a couple emotes. Well, there's one I know I want, but I also want to collaborate on one where it's gonna be like the main channel one, where it's like might be like a picture of a phoenix or something. Yeah. El Mayo, my mom asked me to try casserole once, and Fairly Odd Parents was the reason. Oh wait, dude, I didn't eat dinner. Why I didn't eat dinner that day? Fairly Odd. Okay, so I'm not the only one. Fairly Odd Parents kind of ruined it. Why did they badmouth casserole like that? Like, maybe the creator, Butch Hartman, was like, I never liked casseroles growing up, so now everybody else isn't gonna like casseroles growing up. Bro, I didn't like lasagna for a while, but I think we had frozen lasagna one time and it was bad. Like, whatever the box we had was bad. Excuse me. So I did not eat lasagna for years. Every time I would smell lasagna, I'd be like, yo. And my dad and mom would both tell everybody that was making lasagna as like the main meal. Like, if we go over to somebody's house and they were making lasagna as the main meal, they were like, we need to have something else because my child's not going to eat that, essentially, because of that one bad experience. And then I tried lasagna years later. And my dad was like, okay, I've tasted it. They reworked the recipe, all this stuff. Trust me, you're gonna love it. And then once I had it that time, I haven't had a problem with lasagna since. Now I like it. But that one bad experience as a kid effed me up. I'm sure there's tons of people who have tons of stories that had one bad experience as a kid and they stayed off of whatever that thing was for a while before trying again, or they eventually might never try it again. Butch Hartman definitely has casserole PTSD. I would imagine. Because there's no way, because he has specific things on that show, and it's like, do the characters really feel this way, or does the writer feel this way? And there's tons of things like that across all people's types of, oh no. I did not expect this from you, Mr. Shaw. Alright, we'll get to those in a second. But all across all writer stuff, there's going to be specific things. Unless you're just an objective sociopath writer, you're going to include some part of your normal life in there, and it's going to be something really oddly specific, and then you're going to make people question, does the writer feel this way? Because the writer probably feels this way, and they're just making a character say it. But yeah, we got to do push-ups. He did it. He saved up 10,000 points, and we're gonna do push-ups now. Okay. Lima beans, never again. I'm fine with lima beans. That also got a bad rap from one of the shows I watched. I forget which, probably Jimmy Neutron or something. But that got a bad rap from one of the shows I watched, and I've never had a problem with lima beans. Like, I had them, like, one of my southern aunts made lima beans one time, and I was like, lima beans? Aren't these, like, awful? And then I ate them, I was like, no, they're not. They're a little dry and tasteless, but other than that, if they make me sick, good to know. I won't ever make lima beans around you. You'd have to assume I'm cooking, though. And I don't think anybody, I don't even want that. Alright. Let's do our, was it 10 push-ups I made it? Yep, okay. Alright. You got me. I was not expecting this today. I'm trying to move this stuff out the way so you guys can, I'm going to put the computer at, dang it, I'm going to put it at ground level. I'm going to bring it down. 1 second. Move this here. Yep, you guys are going to see infinite me's. Fantastic. Okay. So I got to unplug this second HDMI. This is, oh man, this is a lot. Unplug the mouse. Bring this down. I got to make sure the mic stays connected. Actually, I get to bring the mic down to the ground floor. There we go. Hope you guys can still hear me. We got 10 push-ups to do because of Sean Black 33. Okay. There we go. That's a little better. Tell I was not prepared for this. Alright, ready? Oh my, I don't normally do these in front of people. It's my first time. Okay. Wait, it says error. You guys can still see me, right? The thing is saying error. This infinite thing. Hang on. I'm gonna have to change the screen. Let's see. Let me see. Okay, you guys can still see me, right? Okay, that's better, I think. Okay. Let's do 10 push-ups. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's more difficult on carpet. I think we're gonna end the stream from down here because it is gonna be too much to put it back on the desk. Alright, that's a good way to end the first redemption thing. Shouts out to Mr. Sean for saving up that many points. I did not know this whole time you were doing that. You did a good job keeping that quiet. Shouts out to everybody in chat. Let's do the quick shout outs. Moms was in the chat. Sean, Chase, of course, Asan, and Rob with us. Everybody today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and chatting it up with your boy. And we're gonna get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow, Tuesday. Okay, yeah. We'll be back tomorrow. If I can get up on time. I mean, I have to record the podcast for Avatar season premiere. And whatever else. But, yeah. We'll be back tomorrow. Alright. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is J-Base Phoenix once again. Signing off. Peace, guys.